Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Oceanside School Board. My name is Mike Blessing. I'm the president. I'm going to call the roll at this point in time. Member Stacy Begin. Are you
Present.
here? Present.
Present.
Member Raquel Alvarez.
Present.
Present. Member Eleanor Evans.
Present.
Present. And member Eric Joyce.
Present.
Present. All members are present and accounted for. First order of business, I need a motion to approve the agenda. Can I have a motion?
I so move.
I second.
I've got a motion and a second by members Evans and Begin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Next item is the superintendent's report. Item number 3. Julie, you have a report for us today?
I do not have a report other than to say we will be discussing reopening plans at our next meeting on July 21st.
Great. Thank you so much. Next item is board reports. Who wants to start with that today? Anyone here? Stacy, you want to start with board report?
I do not have a board report today.
Okay, very good. Raquel?
I don't have anything to present at this time.
Sounds good. Eleanor?
I have more of an announcement. North County Food Distribution Center is operating at Palomar College this Saturday from approximately 8:30 till about 10:30. And at that time, they'll be giving away food to anyone that comes. You need to be in a car, though. That's the one requirement. And it's going to be dry goods, vegetables, and also reading books for elementary.
Great. Thank you for that. Finally, Eric, have any comments?
I'll be very brief.
Yeah.
2 things. So 1, thank you to all of our nonprofits and volunteers that have stepped up during this time. You've seen when Oceanside was put to the test, there were lots of citizens that have stepped up to support our populations that are in need. And that's so many of us. So I just want to thank everyone that stepped up in that space to work when you were called to do so. And the second thing is we talk a lot about advocacy. Federal, they're looking later this month when they return to session in Congress to provide funding to schools nationwide to deal with what we're all facing right now. So any chance you get to make your voice heard on the national stage, or even in polite conversation with your friends, make sure everybody knows that this is a priority for you, that our schools are properly funded so that the future of our country remains secure. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Ditto that statement from me as well, in terms of letting folks know that the feds are got an important decision to make here in July or August in terms of school funding and the COVID crisis, definitely. All right, we'll move on to the consent calendar. We do have a public request from a member of the public to speak on item G, so I'm going to remove that from the agenda for this moment. And I want to ask for a motion to approve items on the consent calendar 5A through 5I, with the exception of G. Do I have a motion?
I so move.
No second.
Got a motion from member Evans and a second by member Alvarez. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I hear it unanimous, 5-0. Thank you very much. Greg, could we have Mr. Who's the speaker on item 5G, which is approval of a settlement claim against the district? I'm sorry. I had it as 5G, consent 5G, approval of settlement of claim against the district. It's disposal of electronic waste. That's H. Okay. Let's do the magic of me declaring it. So we'll have 5H be the item we removed and we're from discussion and have the comments made. IG.
All right. Am I on?
Yeah, you're on. Todd,
Thanks.
you're on.
Thanks. Sorry about that. So this is a small thing. So I'm Todd Madison. I noticed this item on the agenda. I've spoken on it before. March 10th, we did the same disposal process. We have a pretty significant number of things to be disposed of: 161 desktops, 45 monitors, 57 keyboards, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what condition these things are in. I suspect they're all very old, very well used. Many are probably not in condition to be used as is. But I do know there's likely a lot of families out there that might be able to use something the district considers obsolete, perhaps for a family member who's not in school and doesn't have access to the devices we've been provided. Being a bit of a computer nerd myself, I know a computer that can no longer run Windows might be a blazing speed demon with Linux on it. And of course, who couldn't use a second monitor? Or a hobbyist might be able to use some parts. So I don't know if it's even possible, but rather than disposing of the stuff, I'd urge the district to consider simply putting it in the parking lot next Saturday and inviting anyone in Oceanside who wants to come browse to pick over it before we just throw it away. Just an idea. I don't know if any of this is appropriate for that, but I thought I'd throw it out there. Thanks.
Thank you. I think we've had comments in the past from members on this item, and staff is looking into that issue into the future to where they can offer that electronic waste up to our local user groups, but they're not ready to do that in any kind of fashion right now without it costing us more money than it's worth for us to dispose it, as I understand it. Any other discussion amongst ourselves? I'll take a motion to approve disposal of unusable electronic waste. Can I have a motion for that?
Moved.
Got a motion from member Joyce, a second from member Evans. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Did I miss a second? Oh, okay. The second is for member Alvarez. Sorry. I'm working on it, you guys. This agenda had that item as G, not H. So, or I don't know how that played out, but my apologies.
We apologize if there were issues on the agenda.
Thank you. All right, we all clear? We got through the consent? Thank you very much. We're on to item 9, approval of interagency agreement with San Diego County Superintendent of Schools for PASS AmeriCorps Violence Prevention Services. We'll have a staff presentation.
Yes, Dr. Levy.
On the road in Texas, huh? Is it gonna work now? Hit the mute, hit the unmute. Yeah, I read the staff report. Does the rest of the members have any need for other information from staff? Or raise any questions when you read the reports? They were very thorough and presented a great program that is a good service that we definitely need in this day and age, and will need. Any discussion amongst our members?
I would say that I've heard from staff positive feedback on the PASS program.
Great. All right, seeing no more discussion, do I have a motion to approve item 9A of the PASS agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Great, I've got a motion by member Evans and a second by member Begin. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, none. The motion carries 5-0. Great, thank you guys. The next item is an approval of the agreement with Panorama Education for Social Emotional Learning, SEL surveys and SEL platform. Again, we had a staff report from the in the reading material. It read pretty thoroughly on this item. Are there any questions for the staff? Any issues?
Just for public clarification, this program works to provide in-depth information about our capacities in social emotional learning. and it's, as we all know, kids are going to be coming back to schools in whatever capacity with all kinds of social emotional needs, as well as staff and community members. So I think it looks like a really strong tool for us to use in this space, and I'm glad that that staff has recommended that we adopt.
Is that a motion?
Sure. Yes.
Okay, then I will second that.
All right. We've got a motion and a second by members Joyce and Evans. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. The motion carries 5-0. Thank you so much. All right. We've got 2 more items on this agenda, and then we'll be to public comments. So the next item is item 11A, business. This is a tongue twister, so bear with me to read the full version of this. First reading of a resolution number 01-2021, authorizing the issuance of and the terms of sale of not to exceed $25 million of bonds of Oceanside Unified School District by a negotiated sale pursuant to one or more bond purchase agreements, prescribing the sale of said bonds, approving the form of and authorizing the execution and delivery of one or more bond purchase agreements, a paying agent agreement, a continuing disclosure certificate, an investment management agreement, and an official statement for said bonds. We'll open up with a staff presentation from Shannon Soto. Thank you, Shannon.
Absolutely. Thank you, trustees. So the district voters approved Proposition H on June 3rd, 2008, authorizing $195 million.
I'm not hearing anything.
I am.
So far away. So good.
Continue. Okay, thank you. 5 series bonds have been issued in 2009, 2010, 2012, 2016, and 2019. Prop H currently has 40 million of unissued authorized bonds. The district plans to issue the 6th series of bonds in the amount of 25 million for the purpose of funding modernization project at district school sites, such as SLR and Jefferson. Following the 2020 issuance, there will be approximately 15 million remaining under Prop H authorization. And we recognize that we're coming to the end of Prop H and we still have tremendous facility needs. However, this will continue. This will assist with the modernization projects already board approved. This is a first reading only.
Great. Thank you, staff. Any questions of staff?
It's 25 million. Is that the total amount that we have set aside for SLR and Jefferson?
No, we actually have a budget of approximately 17 to 20 million for SLR. Jefferson will have approximately something similar. However, we haven't done the formal site walk, nor have we done the authorization for a budget, given if trustees have decided on an entrance at this time. So there will be more information coming regarding Jefferson and establishing a budget in the fall.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, staff. Anything else? We have no public speaker on this item. So without any further questions, do I have a motion to approve this item?
I'll make a motion to approve this item.
Got a motion from member Begin
I'll second that motion.
and a second from member Evans. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0. Thank you very much. Next item is item B, another tongue twister. First reading of a resolution number 02-2021, authorizing the issuance of and the terms of sale of not to exceed 32 million of refunding bonds of Oceanside Unified School Districts by a negotiated sale pursuant to one or more bond purchase agreements, prescribing the sale of said bonds, approving the form of and authorizing the execution and delivery of one or more bond purchase agreements, a paying agent agreement, a continuing disclosure certificate, an escrow agreement, an investment management agreement, and an official statement for said bonds, and authorizing the execution of necessary documents relating to said bonds. Staff?
Thank you, trustees. In addition to the remodernization or the modernization happening, the district plans to refinance 2 series of outstanding GO bonds for purposes of generating taxpayer savings. The election of 2008 Series B bonds and 2010 GO refunding bonds are callable as of August 1st and are available to be refinanced at the current market rate, which is significantly lower in interest. Similar to refinancing a home mortgage, proceeds from a refunding are used to retire the older bonds. With municipal bond rates near historic low rates, there is capacity to lower the borrowing cost of the outstanding bonds, resulting in lower debt service payments and savings to taxpayers. The refinancing is estimated to generate approximately $47 million in total debt service savings. At this time, this is a first reading just for the refinancing of those bonds.
Great. Thank you very much, staff. Any questions of staff? We again have no public speakers on this item. So without any questions, I would entertain a motion to approve this action.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Member Evans. And I got a second from Member Begin. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, that is the last item of our business agenda this evening or this morning. We will go to the public comment section, and after public comment is over, we will close this meeting and go back into closed session for just the members of the board here this morning. Public comments on items on this are for the public to make comments on items not on our agenda tonight. This morning, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 people who are asked to sign up and to speak on this agenda items, and on these non-agenda items, excuse me. And I caution everyone to please stay on the topic that is not related to the agenda. And we'll call out the first name. Greg, you got a call on that? We go in the order I have here, or do you have an order you want to go with?
One of the speakers is not present, so I'll just I'll call him out.
Okay.
Mr. Madison.
All right. Thanks, Greg. So once again, thanks to the district for the exceptional effort they've put into making the plans for the reopening. As you all know, I've been a parent advocate in the district for a while now. As such, I need to reiterate what I said at the last meeting. The district's done a great job of gathering parent input on this. Unfortunately, as we saw in the last meeting, one part of parent input got a lot less attention than others. For the 15% of parents who prefer distance learning, we saw a great plan to do that, including the establishment of Surfside. I'm sure Eric and his team will do really well at that. For the 36% of parents who like a mix of distance and in-person, we saw the hybrid model. I expressed some concerns over limitations on the in-person school time that seem perhaps driven by what works best for adults rather than kids. But in general, a reasonable and I think well thought through plan. Hopefully you're not hearing the lawn guys. For the majority, though, the 53% of parents who preferred a full-time traditional schedule, we saw almost nothing on that. A bullet point in the plan, despite being a majority choice, no real plan was presented. I appreciate Mike's pointing that out in the meeting and his advocacy of putting together such a plan, at least for elementary kids. I think we agree on that. After the meeting, some parents contacted me to discuss the lack of options for secondary kids. As your former co-leader of the Parent Advisory Committee, people know I'm a strong advocate for parent input. They asked me to push this one for them. I started a petition on that, which you've all seen. As of this morning, we had over 500 parents that felt strongly enough to take the time to sign it. I see the Union Tribune last weekend reported the district is now going to present such a plan at the next meeting. We'll all look forward to seeing that plan, having the opportunity to provide some parent input in the meeting and letting the board discuss and make their decision, exactly what should be done. That's how things should work. I appreciate the district and the board being so responsive to parents in Oceanside. Anyone who wants to discuss all options from all distance to school as usual are welcome to an open discussion in the Oceanside Schools Parent Network Facebook group. Board members are welcome to see what parents are saying there as well. And lastly, since this is off agenda comment today, I thought I should disclose to all that I'm running for school board this fall. Anyone interested in keeping track of that is welcome to join me, Todd Madison, at toddforkids.com. That's That's Todd4kids.com. I look forward to an interesting conversation about how we can put kids first in Oceanside. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Greg Wasaki. He'll be on momentarily.
Greg Wysocki. Okay.
Mr. Wasaki, go ahead.
All right. Okay. Hi. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm a teacher at Oceanside. I've been a teacher for 22 years, and I just finished a trimester of distant learning. And so I got an email last night from our ODA president about what they're recommending for opening in the fall about distant learning, and it really discouraged me as a teacher. It was very difficult. The distant learning was, my participation rate was very low. And so I would like to see an option that teachers can choose to go back to school if they want to, and allow students to go back to school if they want to, because I feel the classroom is the best place for teachers and students to work. And I know that if you're a kindergarten student or a TK student, they have no pre-knowledge of school, and so their first experience is going to be in front of a screen. They're not going to have interaction with other students. They're not going to have interaction with teachers. And so, and the same with from going from elementary to junior high, it's going to be the same thing. You're not going to have that interaction. They're not going to have that connection.
Really?
So I would strongly encourage the school board and the leadership of Oceanside Unified School District to consider getting us back to the classroom. I have very good health insurance. I appreciate the district supplying that for me. And I know I'll be well taken care of if something were to happen to me. And I know that the same with students. Parents love their kids and they're going to take care of them. And so I know there's protocols in place right now to handle what this current situation is. And I feel that, we have gone through so many things as teachers. I've been in a hospital before because I've been sick, but I keep powering through because I love education. And I want to be able to work every day with my students and see their faces. And so I hope that there's an option for teachers that want to go back to school to be able to go back to school and take that risk. I'm willing to take that risk for the students and for the parents. So thank you very much. And so hopefully there'll be an option for teachers to go back to school along with students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg.
The next speaker is Cheryl Rocafort.
Thank you. Cheryl, are you with us?
Yes.
Great.
My name is Cheryl Roccaforte, and I'm a secondary teacher in our district. Here are some things I know about COVID-19. According to a 1,200-person study, scans of the hearts of COVID patients reveal heart damage in over 50% of cases. There is a high incidence of blood clots, which can cause strokes, heart attacks, lung blockages, and other complications. Such complications caused Broadway star Nick Cordero to have his leg amputated. He needed a double lung transplant just before he died. COVID can cause neurological damage. It can impact just about every major organ. It can cause diabetes, and doctors are seeing a post-viral syndrome akin to chronic fatigue. San Diego's COVID cases have at least tripled in recent weeks. But by all means, let's open up the schools. Thinking about the encroaching school year the night before last, I found myself unable to sleep. I also couldn't shake a conversation I'd had with a friend earlier that day. When I explained to her that I did not feel it was safe for me to go back to work, she asked sincerely, "What about all of the other people that have gone back to work? We're all able to do it." I clarified that teachers convene with a lot of people for long periods of time in one, usually poorly ventilated indoor space. In fact, OUSD's proposed hybrid schedule would likely ensure I had anywhere from 15 to 25 kids in my room at once. Too many students to put 6 feet distance around. I explained to my friend that restaurants, for example, were constantly seeing outbreaks, but she still didn't seem to accept my explanation. I wondered if it was a mistrust of teachers in general I was detecting. Did she think I was lazy? Did she imagine that while everyone else is yearning to have their old lives back, I just want to sit around my house some more? This understanding felt dangerous to me. Anyway, to quell my intense anxiety that night, I got up out of bed and had to make an actual written list of all the reasons I might not die of COVID when school reopens. According to Mike Ryan of the World Health Organization, quote, "If we suppress the virus in our communities, then our schools can reopen safely," end quote. We don't have this right now. I do not think we should physically reopen OUSD schools until San Diego has suppressed transmission of this virus. At that time, classes must be kept at around 10 students, and all students must wear masks, something I heard recently hadn't even been committed to. I also want to clarify that if I get sick, it is likely a student's family members will get sick too. And kids do get terribly sickened, and some even die of COVID. While only 0.02% of children die, if that happens in our district, it will be devastating. We should not participate in this game of Russian roulette, in my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cheryl. Next speaker.
Next speaker is Josephine Brinkman. She'll be on momentarily. Go ahead, Ms. Brinkman. Ms. Brinkman, you're free to speak. You'll have to unmute.
Sorry, I didn't push the button.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you with us?
I'm with you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great. Yes, we
Okay.
can. Go for it.
Okay. Good morning, Superintendent Vitale, esteemed cabinet and board members. My name is Josephine Alice Romero Brinkman. I'm a native San Diegan, one of 10 children born to Pee Wee and Kuka Romero, both parents, USA citizens, childhood dream, writer, teacher. I am both today. Teacher for 21 years with this school district and taught ELD for 16 years at Laurel and OHS High School. I am bilingual and soon to be trilingual. I attended UCSD. I have a BA, an MA, and an MFA, all while all concentrating in English and education. I'm a high school advisor. I work a lot of hours doing work after school with the Driftwood newspaper, Scholars for Public Service. I'm a delegate for the state council. I serve on the SPED committee for California Teachers Association. I'm an executive board member. I am a liaison for the high school. I serve on mutual interest, RBO, OHS staff club. I have credibility. That's what I'm trying to prove here, to say I have given my life to education and to my students. I have helped my students achieve computers at their schools when they go off to college. I have funded trips to Europe. I care about our students. I don't sit around like some people have alluded that teachers are being busy and that's why we don't want to go back to school. Fact is this. It is not safe to return. Parents, community members, we're sorry. That's just the way it is. We have to tell our kids the facts. Science is proving we should not be in a school 5 days a week. It is high risk. We are the field, we are the soldiers. Haven't we proven by people that have been shot and killed in classrooms that we are the ones to go first with the kids? Please don't have this as your legacy, board members and superintendent and executive cabinet, to fall prey like Vista, Carlsbad, and Fallbrook have done. They're taking a stand that I view as political. This is not political. This is humanity. Please, I am urging you, parents out there, don't put your kids at risk. I know you need to go back to work. I know you need childcare, but that is not going to help us if we diminish our teaching staff and lose loved ones. I lost a son 16 years ago, and I'll tell you, it's something you never, ever get over. And I know my minutes were kind of were curtailed because I couldn't get unmuted, but I just—
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe. I leave you with that message because we have already studied. Teachers are not relaxing. They're not on vacation. My colleagues are working around the clock. We are reading material. We are getting distance learning. Please, I don't want to take too much more of your time beating a dead horse. I'm sorry, parents, community members, people that are trying to understand why we can't go back. We already have the information. We just have to accept it. So I support my teachers. I support the students. I know they want to come back. I want to come back. We want the world to be normal again. Please be careful in the decisions you make for our district. Thank you.
Thank you, Josephine. Next speaker. Lori or Sharon?
There was a card submitted for Sharon Roncone, but she's not present.
Okay.
And then the last one was just a first name on the card of Lori, and there was nobody in attendance with that name. So that would be all the speakers.
Okay. Then that would conclude our public comment item on non-agenda items for this meeting. We appreciate everyone's comments, and I'm sure there's more out there watching and following us on this issue. We appreciate the interest, and in the next few weeks, it's going to get even more interesting and intense, but we appreciate your participation and your patience with us. With that, I will adjourn this meeting, and we are going back into closed session. Thank you very much.